doing nothing, some of them. I'm not going to say all of them, because some of them do actually do stuff right. So, is the Congress of the United States ever going to take up some of this stuff and cut some of the pork, cut some of the pension garbage, and get rid of some of the dead weight?
You know, we share a lot of the same opinions. Last 31 years of my life, I've been a small businessman. Spent 2 years in the Colorado State Legislature and had the privilege of being elected to represent you in Congress. And I think that you point to a very important issue. We do see a lot of people who have been there a long time. They forget that we're here to serve the people. It's something that's incredibly important. In the state of Colorado, we passed term limits, for those of you that have been here quite a while. Ended up going to federal court. The Supreme Court of the United States ruled that term limits do not apply to federal representatives. So this literally will take, and this can all be a citizen initiative, real frankly, with petitions, a constitutional amendment, to be able to limit the amount of terms. Because believe me, just in Congress, every 2 years you're running for re-election. There needs to be a point here where we understand that the focus needs to truly be on doing service for the people. Those of you that read your Jefferson, read your Aristotle, should be about public service. Going to your second point in terms of the pensions, that effectively stopped in 1994. You have a payroll deduction which comes out of your check, and you pay effectively into the equivalent as a PERA, a Social Security. There is no lifelong pension for members of Congress. It comes out now. 1994, that was different. I believe my date is correct on that. Back to 1994. In fact, up to 1994, they had such a great deal. They built up campaign coffers, and that became your personal, non-taxable money when you decided not to run. That's wrong. First of all, it's not your money. People donate it to you, this money. And to make any assumption, I come from a hard-working family. My folks, my dad, growing up, born in Bayfield, Colorado, they were sharecroppers. They didn't even own the dirt under their feet. Never had an opportunity to be able to go to college, but he worked hard. In fact, we had some people talking about my dad worked at CF&I. Met my mother here who worked at Walters Brewery as Mr. Walters' receptionist. Met on a blind date on a Friday the 13th. Got married. Stayed here. My brother was born here in Floodwater. But hard-working family that I came from, and by the grace of God, some things worked out okay. You know, my dad worked hard, risked hard, and some things worked out. But we all have examples of people who've had a lot of blisters on their hands, that have worked hard, and I guarantee you, they love their families, and want to be able to provide for them. And for anybody in Congress to assume that they deserve more for having the privilege of serving you and representing you and casting your vote is wrong. We need to keep that focus right. I would not support, in fact, that's going around on the internet right now. By the way, on health care, I still have my private health care insurance, by the way, that I am paying for. One thing that is important to note is I think that we need to be standing up and hold Congress accountable to the same laws that we as Americans. Yes.
7:56.
Yeah, hi. My name is James. I'm from Alamosa. And there's a lot of government employees that would lose their jobs with these budget cuts that are planned over the next 10 years. And the money that they're making goes back into the economy, you know, they spend it. So I want to know how laying off tens of thousands of government employees through budget cuts is going to help create jobs or help the unemployment situation.
Thanks, James. You just gave probably a very good example of the Keynesian economic theory. Who pays the salaries of people that work in government? It's ultimately that even though they pay some taxes, it's not enough to be able to pay their individual wage. We rely on the private sector to be able to generate the real income to be able to pay the wages. There's been one job growth sector truly in the United States. It's called government. I think statistics show that we've increased federal employees about 2.2%, while other Americans are worrying about